Hello again. I thank you for joining me again. This is Lynn, and this is the next of our video series, and I haven't numbered them because when I feel like it's important for them to be numbered, I'll number them. But in the meantime, it's just the next in our video series. And you can click on my channel at F5B Enterprises, or you can go on over to my website at www.thebestyouever.com. I have Lady Monologues over there, which is my blog, and I also have the video library over there, which is kind of short right now, but you'll be able to access all of my videos over there soon. The videos that I have open to the public right now are available on links on that page in the video library. But in the meantime, today I want to start the first of many conversations that I will be having about self-esteem. And it's hard to approach that topic because I know of a lot of people personally that suffer from low self-esteem, or what I like to call weakened self-esteem. And they either don't know it, or they won't admit it, or they're just, they're trying to hide it. They're completely in the dark about it. They're trying to hide it. It manifests itself in many parts of our lives. We feel the need to overcompensate in other areas when we have low self-esteem. Now, my experience with low or weakened self-esteem is pretty typical. I've always been a big girl. I was, for the most part, a big child. I was not a fat child. I was just bigger than everybody else. Now, as far as a woman is concerned, I'm pretty fluffy. I'm a pretty big girl. And, I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. I'm doing what I need to do for my health. But as far as being a woman is concerned, yes, I'm a pretty big girl. But I was teased. Oh, boy. I think the first time I can remember being teased, I was probably about 7. And I started being teased from 7 all the way up into adulthood. I was teased by classmates. I was teased by family members. I was even teased by the men who claimed to love me. They teased me too. And so it really drilled in me the whole idea of you're fat, you're ugly, you're never going to be pretty, nobody's ever going to want you. It really drilled it into me, because when you hear that as a child consistently, take my word for it, as an adult, you believe it. You have no reason not to. If there's nobody there to say, hey, that's not true, I realize that you're, a little overweight, or I realize that you're bigger than most kids, but you're still a beautiful person and we love you. I didn't have that. I did not have that. I did not have anybody there telling me that I was a beautiful person. I didn't have anybody there telling me that I was a pretty girl, that I could be anything that I wanted to. I didn't have that. I'm not going to sit and say, oh, everybody treated me so bad, I was so abused. No, I'm not going to tell you that. But as far as positive reinforcement, I did not get positive reinforcement. The only time I got positive reinforcement was when I did something really, 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 really huge that ended up getting recognition for me and someone else. If I did something that got recognition for me and someone else, then it was, oh, wonderful person that you are. But just every day to get that positive reinforcement that I could be who I wanted to be and do who I wanted to do what I wanted to do. For the most part, I only got reinforcement when whoever was involved felt like I did something wrong. If I needed to be scolded or chastised, I got that reinforcement. Didn't kill me, I'm alive. Didn't scar me for life, I'm fine. But I did get that reinforcement. I did not get the kind of reinforcement that I think I should have got as a young child and a young woman growing into a young lady and being a functional woman in the world. I did not get the reinforcement that I needed. And so, as a result, I suffered depression at an early age, and I didn't realize I was suffering depression until I was diagnosed later in life. And that is a whole another issue as well. People who know me now would never ever believe that I was ever diagnosed with depression. And yes, there is a way to overcome it. It sure is. But again, that's another video. We'll talk about that too. There is a way to overcome depression. You know, a lot of times it takes something big, but there is a way to overcome depression. But we'll talk about that too. But I never knew. I've always had somebody. I've always had somebody in terms of having a boyfriend or a husband. There's always been somebody there. So it wasn't that I was ever at a loss for companionship, because ever since I was old enough to know what men and women do, I was doing it. And late teenager, you know, I wasn't a 14-year-old promiscuous child. Okay, so I had a bit of a technical difficulty there, so if it looked like the video just skipped, it did. You're not crazy. I do remember saying before the video just died on me that for as long as I can remember, being able to know what men and women do responsibly, I have had male companionship. I have not been a lonely woman in terms of having male companionship. But my relationships were not healthy. They weren't healthy because I didn't know me yet. I really needed to get to know me before I called myself trying to let somebody else in my space. And that was a really hard lesson to learn, because I kept bringing these men in. These men were supposed to validate me, and they didn't. They didn't, because someone else outside of you at that point in your life can't validate you in that way. Not in that way. Positive reinforcement, yes, that's always something that you need. Always something that you're going to want to have. But someone outside of you cannot validate you in a way that makes you feel like you are worth something to yourself. That has to come through you. And it's an exercise. It takes a while. But you gotta start somewhere. For me, I was 27 years old. I had just had my daughter. And I was in a fish market in Detroit. And they had the security cameras. And also in the same lobby, they had the monitor for the security cameras. And I remember looking up in that monitor, and I saw this girl in the monitor. She was gorgeous. I'm like, wow, you know, it caught me off guard. She was just that pretty. I'm like, gosh, she's really pretty. But you know how you look in the monitors and you see the room and you see, here's the chair, there's the lamp. Where am I in proximity to this stuff? So I got caught off guard looking at this beautiful girl in this monitor. She was really pretty. I'll never forget that. I'm looking up and she was very pretty. And actually, I wasn't 27. I was about 26 when this happened. But I looked in the monitor. I saw this pretty girl, and I let it go. Okay, pretty girl, fine. And then I started looking in the monitor for myself. Where am I? And I was very amazed. It was a life-changing event for me. I was very amazed that the girl in the monitor that I was looking at, seeing she was very beautiful, it was me. And I was so amazed because I never saw myself as beautiful before that point. I would put myself together, do my hair. If I wore makeup, because I'm not a real makeup wearer, but lately, you know, I'll do a little lipstick, a little eyeshadow, and, you know, I might do the full-on mask, like my friends in high school used to call it war paint. I might do the full-on war paint. I might not. Right now, I'm really much more into, even though my nails aren't done right now, I'm more into getting my nails done. I like my jewelry, my earrings, you know. I like that stuff. You know, I've had the braids for so long, now my hair grew out. So that's the stuff I like. I'm not really into a whole lot of makeup all the time. I put some color on my face when I do these videos because I don't want to scare you guys away. But I'm not really into that all the time. So when I did that, as I was, you know, in my adulthood, after I had my second child, my last child, birth child, okay, nothing spectacular. Okay, whatever, hair done, gotta go. And that was it. But when I looked in this monitor and I saw this beautiful girl and I found out it was me, it changed my life. It was the first life-changing event that, oh my gosh, if you don't know you're looking at yourself, the person that you look at, you see is beautiful, but the minute you see it as yourself, it's just me. How many of you are going through that? Just me. There's more than just you there. Just you. There's you. You are beautifully and marvelously, wonderfully made. You are gorgeous. I don't care if you got one eye and a kickstand. You are gorgeous. You are fabulous. And you have to start feeling that way. And it's so hard to do it. It's so hard to do it because I've been there. The reason why 27 stuck in my head was because maybe about a year after that happened, I was in the mirror, looking in the mirror, fixing my hair, doing my makeup, getting ready for work one day. And it just hit me. Oh my God. She's beautiful. Why don't you feel better about yourself? Why don't you feel better about the person that you are? What's wrong? You're gorgeous. And that's when it hit me. And from that day on, that was the day that my self-esteem soared through the roof when I finally said to myself, you're beautiful, you're a beautiful person, you're a wonderful person inside and out, and you don't have to tolerate anything you don't want to. Now that's a tough one there too, tolerating what you don't want, but that again is another video. But on this video, it's important for me to let particularly my sisters know, and brothers have low self-esteem too, but this is for my sisters. It's particularly important for me to let my sisters know that you have to love yourself before anybody can love you. You really have to love you first. And loving anybody is a process. So it's kind of hard sometimes to love yourself if you aren't doing it already. The first thing that I can tell you to do is to start thinking about the things about you that you like. Because there's something about you that you like or you wouldn't be here. Start thinking about those things about yourself that you like. If you need to make a list, make a list. And then you need to start letting yourself know on a daily basis how wonderful those things are. I have beautiful eyes. I'm a wonderful mother. I'm a fabulous friend. I'm a great typist. I have wonderful things about me. It doesn't matter how small they are. You need to start concentrating and focusing on those things you love about yourself. And then you start thinking about those things that you don't like about yourself. Things that they stick out to you, not something that somebody else told you. Things that stick out to you. I need to lose a few pounds. I don't like the way my hair looks. And they could be small things or they could be large things. Those things that you can change, you work on changing those things slowly but surely at your pace. And appreciate your ability to change them. But you might want to start appreciating those things about you because they make you individual. They make you who you are. You need to start taking inventory of the people around you and how they affect you and what they're saying to you, because you need positive reinforcement. No man is an island. You need positive reinforcement. And just like I said in my video on toxicity, you do not need people around you that are toxic to you, that are going to pull you down, hold you down, or make you feel bad about yourself. At the time when you realize that you don't have the level of self-esteem that you want, that's the time that you have to start taking the steps to love you. Do more for yourself on a regular basis. Take some time out of every day to spend on yourself. If you're polishing your fingernails, trying out a new eyeshadow, sitting in a corner and just thinking about you. These things may sound ridiculous, but for those of us who really suffer from low self-esteem, we know how hard it is. We know how hard it is to come up out of that shadow. But you have to be the first person to understand how beautiful you are, how wonderful you are, how strong you are. You have to be the first person to understand it, and you have to take baby steps to do it. The harder thing is for those of us who don't know we have low self-esteem. Now, to me, low self-esteem is kind of like a drug addiction. It can always creep back in if you let it. Once you've discovered that it has been there, it can always creep back in if you let it. So although I feel fine about myself, I feel great about myself, I do not care what you say. I'm a fabulous human being. So there's no low self-esteem here. But situations, people, all kinds of things can trigger it again. So this is why I say I know how it feels, and I know it's a constant job to be able to say, hey, I'm a beautiful person. I need to appreciate me. And I do that as often as I can, because I will not slip back into that weak self-esteem that I felt like I was in. But one of the things that I find out is that people have low self-esteem and they don't even know it. One of the groups of people that I found that had low self-esteem and didn't know it, where they put themselves up on these high pedestals like, I'm so fabulous, I'm so beautiful, and I can have any man that I want. And in reality, they do this to cover the facade of what they're really feeling and thinking. They won't even let their mind go back into that place where they might be feeling or thinking that way. They haven't solved the problem, they've covered it up. It's like they haven't fixed it. They haven't said, I love myself, I want more for myself, I'm doing more for myself, I'm a beautiful person inside and out, I'm a prize for anybody that knows me, I want to share this happiness with other people because it is a beautiful thing and I want other people to feel it. They're not doing that. I'm beautiful, I'm fine, I'm foxy, I can have any man I want to, I don't care what you say, whatever the case may be, And deep down inside, they're still down in there with, oh my goodness. I had to close my door because I have noise out there. But deep down inside, they're still in there with, oh my goodness, if I think about this hard enough, I'm ugly. If I think about this hard enough, I'm fat. If I think about this long enough, I'm lonely. If I think about this long enough, I'm fill in the blank. Those are the people I feel the sorriest for. I really hope that those, and I know a lot of them, those are the people that I really hope they come to grips with what's going on with them. And they come up out of what's happening to them. They try to anesthetize what's going on with them with partying, sometimes with drugs, with sex. They sleep with a lot of guys or a lot of girls or whatever the case may be. They'll anesthetize it if they have money. They'll anesthetize it with shopping. They try to anesthetize what they're feeling with an overabundance, with overindulgence in something, in anything. And it doesn't really fix the problem. It never really fixes the problem. So those are the people I feel sorriest for, because if you don't know you have a problem, or you will refuse to recognize the problem, you won't do anything about it. That's what really scares me for people is these are the people that are going to be old and alone and don't know why. And it's one thing if you're alone by choice. It's like, hey, this is the kind of life I want, and I'm fine with this. I'm fine with it without a man. I'm great. But I heard somebody say a while back, one of the phrases that they used was single by choice. And I just listened to that phrase and I'm like, I know you. And I would have thought that that might have been the situation if I had not known how many men you give yourself to on a regular basis. It's like I'm just going to sleep with everybody so I don't feel anything. I don't want to feel any pain. I don't want to feel bad about myself. I don't want to feel. I don't want to feel. So I'm just going to sleep with everybody. And when she found herself alone, she started using the phrase single by choice. Never had a problem getting a man, and could get any man, and did. But she tacked this single by choice onto herself, to anesthetize the fact that she could have many men, but she couldn't have a man of her own. And I saw right through it. I saw her somewhere in tears, just crying, just crying. It was just really sad. And she could anesthetize the fact that she couldn't have one man by getting many, and she was indiscriminate about it. That's what made it so sad. So I can just only hope that people like that can kind of come to grips with what's going on there, because I mean, unless there's just something going on in the world that I am just completely blind about, I cannot see anybody anywhere feeling special about themselves, feeling that they are a wonderful creation, and then blindly and indiscriminately giving themselves to just many, 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 many people. Call it what you want it. I'm sorry if I've offended anybody. Forgive me, but it is my opinion, and that's how I feel about it. There are so many different levels of low self-esteem, but those are two of them. The level that I suffered, where I didn't have any positive reinforcement, and the level that I see many of the people I used to call friends suffer, where they are just sleeping with everybody to anesthetize the fact that they don't have that one. And I just there's a whole lot more arms to that one than I can even put out there. But I think the beginning of getting over that situation is, number one, get around more positive people. Get around people that are more positive to you, that are more focused and in tune to you. If you need to talk to someone face to face, by all means do it. If you need to talk to a counselor, or a psychiatrist, or a psychologist, or your pastor, or you want to shoot me an email, by all means do it. Do whatever you need to be to get focused and where you need to be focused. But start looking at yourself as the wonderful, beautifully made human being that you are. You are the only you that there is. Nobody else is made like you. Nobody else looks like you. Nobody else can be you. Nobody else. Once you start to appreciate those things about yourself that make you that beautiful, fabulous human being that you are on the road to healing that self-esteem problem that you have. And I'm telling you, it could take a long time. And there could be some times when you feel like backing out and giving up and just not doing it anymore. By all means, don't stop. Don't quit. You need to constantly be there working on that big, great, fabulous, wonderful version of you. because it's there, it's waiting to get out. Once again, if you have any questions, if you want to chat with me, if you've got a topic that you feel like you want me to talk about, hit me up on my email, lynnmitchell@gmail.com. I'll have it at the end of this video. I'm sorry. You can hit me up at lynnmitchell@gmail as well, but it's better to hit me up at lynnmitchell@thebestyouever.com. So now you know I have two emails. So it's lynnmitchell@thebestyouever.com. And make sure you get on over to my website, www.thebestyouever.com. Get on my mailing list. I'm working on a free gift to give to those people who get on my mailing list. I'm working on that now, so hopefully I'll have that ready for you in just a little while. Little teaser for you, something that I think you'll really like, something that'll really help you. Anybody, it'll really help you out. And I'm also working on getting some products on there for anybody who's interested, but mainly I just want to get people over to the site to look around and get involved and get it on off the ground so we can start helping some people while we help ourselves. So again, I thank you very much for taking this journey with me, for allowing me to take your journey with you. I'm feeling really fabulous about today. I hope you're feeling fabulous about today too. I hope I've said something that'll help you out. And I really, truly hope to see you again really, really soon.